In the aftermath of our previous tale, our protagonists find themselves in a setting of casual camaraderie. They shared laughter and perhaps a drink or two, their smiles a stark contrast to the quick dismissals he had experienced in his high school years. She even granted him access to her sanctuary, her room, or perhaps it was his. And in that moment, he found himself standing on the precipice of a crucial juncture in his life, his self-worth hanging in the balance. Confusion clouded his mind, his heartbeat echoing in his chest like a frantic drum, yet he strived to portray an image of confidence. She too seemed to be navigating through a fog of uncertainty, offering only what he perceived as token resistance. The actual enjoyment of the moment got lost somewhere in the whirlwind of emotions, but that wasn't the point. His focus was on finally being able to consider himself a man. He asks her feelings post the encounter, and her response, though vague, is enough to put his mind at ease. As the evening ends and the morning sun rises, the woman finds herself grappling with a whirlwind of emotions. In the quiet solitude of her room, she tries to piece together the fragmented moments of the previous night. Her mind, a maze of confusion, struggles to comprehend the sudden shift in their interaction. The encounter, far from the wonderful experience she'd always heard about, left her feeling empty, used, and distant. She questions the rapid progression of events, the pushiness that caught her off guard, the lack of emotional intimacy. It all happened so fast, leaving her reeling in the aftermath. In the stark light of day, she begins to question her own desires. Did she truly want this? Or was it forced upon her against her will? The realization hits her like a tidal wave. If it was against her will, does that mean she's been violated? The thought sends shockwaves through her being, making her question everything she thought she knew about consent and desire. As her mind spins in turmoil, she finds herself questioning the very nature of their encounter. While empathy lies with the young woman, let's consider an analogy to shed light on this complex situation. Picture someone who purchases a lottery ticket, anticipating the thrill of the win. Now, when the draw doesn't go their way, they feel hard done by, as if they've been robbed. They argue, "I wouldn't have paid if I knew I was going to lose, therefore I have been deprived of my money against my will, therefore I am the victim of theft." But would we accept this argument? No. And why is that? Because it contradicts the principle of personal responsibility, the idea that we must accept the consequences of our choices, be they good or bad. In the grand scheme of life, accepting the outcomes of our choices, whether favorable or not, is a principle upon which most civilized institutions are built.